searching all along, came facing twilight on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping yet the real question.
Welcome back to UKSG Winter 17. We've got CDRomatron here, and we're about to run Donkey Kong 5, The Journey of Over Time and Space.
So, we're going to start this off with something a little special. So the intro to this game, like every game developed by Syntax, is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to restart real quick and go through the intro.
Yeah.
Are we getting... Sorry, we're getting...
And while the intro is running, you can also just shift a little bit more so you can both be in the frame.
Okay.
Yeah. Over there, because that's how the camera works, I guess.
So that way?
It's not going to no.
I'm sure I don't accidentally kick it.
Okay, here we go.
The pretty and virtuous girl Sodoma was Donkey Kong's friend. She was as the spirit in charge of all the plants in the world. She distributed sunlight, air and water to each plant every day so that they could grow healthy and strongly. It was wrongly, my bad. But the Lombardo lived in the darkness. Darksome Comer didn't like the Darksome Comer, didn't like the world full of green grass and bloomy flowers. So the evil Lombardo abducted Sodoma to mess the growth of life from then on. The flower bloomed no longer, and the tree blasted slowly. The banana and the wild fruit the Donkey Kong loved had been lacked too. The world became desolate at once. There was no anything to eat. Donkey Kong felt very hungry, and the famine made him thinner and thinner. Finally, he became a monkey.
No!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The poor Donkey Kong can but left the forest, begun his difficult journey to search for food and save Sodoma.
How are we looking? Are we...
Again.
Oh, we've got everything sorted now. Ron should be able to go ahead as planned.
Let's turn this down.
Turn down so we can actually hear it, yeah.
And now repeat that.
Hello, sorry if you couldn't hear us before. We're saying we've got everything sorted now, and we've turned the capture audio down. Should be ready to go now.
Yeah. There we go.
Right, shall we get started with Donkey Kong 5? You want to give me a countdown and I'll start and go? So.
I can give us a countdown.
Alright, so 3, 2, 1, go. So, welcome to Donkey Kong 5, The Journey of Over Time and Space. And I'm going to have to do a lot of explaining. So, this game might look a bit familiar to anyone who's played any video game before. So this is a Chinese bootleg game developed by Syntax or BBD. We're pretty sure it's Syntax, and it is just a complete recreation of the first Mario Bros. Game. So already you're seeing a trick, which is one of the main and only glitches we're going to be using for this one, which has been dubbed Accelerated Donkey Hovering. So, Donkey Kong has 3 states in this game. He can either be the small Donkey Kong, which is like a Diddy Kong, medium-sized Donkey Kong, which is the red one, or blue Donkey Kong, who fires the Hadokens. Emulating a very similar style to Small Mario, Big Mario, and Fire Mario. So, throughout this run, we're really going to be aiming to stay as red Donkey Kong as much as we can for time saving, and blue Donkey Kong just for safety. The reason we want to be going for red Donkey Kong for speed is because he's the only character capable of accelerated Donkey Hovering, because the blue Donkey Kong has Hadokens on the same button. So there's 2 main categories in this game. There's any percent and there's Warpless. These emulate very similar to the actual Mario Bros. Categories, which are called similar things, in which any percent is using all the warp zones to get straight to World 5. You do a total of 8 levels. However, this is Warpless, where we are going to see all 5 worlds. And yes, I said 5. They just didn't do the last 3 worlds, so less for us to do, I guess. So you're going to see the advantages of Donkey Hovering in a level like this, where we can run a lot of over the world. Like we can make that cycle, for example, and the game's pretty lenient in terms of its hitboxes. That can be a little bit of a disadvantage sometimes when enemies are larger than it seems. But hey ho. So yeah, so like I said, throughout this run, we're going to be using Red Donkey Kong, and we're going to be hovering over as much as we can. These are just the same level layouts as the Mario Bros. So here we're going to be entering a castle stage, and we're going to be collecting the power-up here solely for damage abuse. There's a good few times we are going to be picking up the ice power-up, not for any reason particular other than just to run through a bunch of fire pillars and such. This segment here, I don't think this level was in the original. I've never seen that before. But hey ho. So here we get the boss. It's now Dracula. Hello. So yeah, we're one world down. I've never even seen that cutscene. So there should be an item around here. There we go. So this level I don't like, not because this level's particularly bad, but because we really want to be keeping the power up throughout all of this, because there is a level in 2 levels time which we really want to be keeping the ice power for. And I'll explain that a bit more when we actually get to the level. So there's these enemies that come out the pipes. These are very similar to piranha plants, but unfortunately have like really strange hitboxes and come out at like weird timings, whereas with the original Mario Bros you could kind of just jump over if you had a well-timed jump. In this game they will kill you from basically any time. Those bat enemies have horrible hitboxes, as does like everything in this game. So unfortunately we got hit by one there, but I don't believe there are any more power-ups left in the stage. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to keep that power-up throughout. There we go. So when it comes to landing on the flag post, otherwise known as like the bell rope thing, it really doesn't matter where we are. So we might as well just land at the bottom this time. So this is the water stage. The only good thing about this is the music, to be honest. So we're going to be staying at the top as much as possible because we can just mash, and that keeps us going at a relatively good speed. A lot of what we're doing here is just lag reduction, because staying at the top we can just go pretty fast. Ooh, fish, please. There we go. Okay. So yeah, these jellyfish are beyond the pain in the ass. But here we go. Oh, it was a bit early there. So when it comes to playing games on the Game Boy player, typically I will use a Game Boy Advance SP just because it's sort of like a really comfortable controller, and quite frankly I hate the GameCube's D-pad. However, I do use a GameCube for this solely because mashing on a Game Boy Advance is quite possibly the worst thing ever, and the GameCube, like the large buttons in the GameCube lend themselves quite nicely to it. So this is the level I was complaining about before, 2-3. So you remember those levels in Mario Bros where it's like the cheap jump at you? Imagine that, but it's nigh random, and, well, it's not random, but it's inconsistent as to where they jump, and the hitboxes are maybe about 5 times bigger than it appears. So, oh crap. Yeah, there I was hoping to be able to jump on him. We didn't quite get that, but well. So we're just trying to keep this careful, not die. Unlike the original Mario Bros, there are no checkpoints in this game, so if we die, we're back all the way to the start of the level. Careful. 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 There we go. I knew there was one around here. Okay, okay, okay. Perfect! Okay, we're past what I was really not looking forward to this run already. Next up is too far, the next castle. A lot of the castles in this game are just a pushover. The only ones we really need to worry about is like the 4th one and the 5th one, I feel. So luckily all these castles basically have a power-up near the beginning which we can snag, which is really nice. We're going to try get a bit here. So we need to align ourselves perfectly in between those, and we got it, cool. So these bits are a pain, because those fire bars spin round at a really inconvenient cycle compared to the speed Donkey Kong moves at. And there's the boss too. Yeah, none of these bosses will pose any kind of threat. Word 3. So there is a power-up along here we're going to grab, but this is one of the faster levels in the game, and actually reflects the music for once. There's an enemy. So if there's any point you ever like look at anything in this game and say, hey, that actually doesn't look too bad or look too good, it's most likely because it's stolen from something else. A lot of the music in this game is ripped straight from games like Pokemon Pinball. So, like I said, there is no credit to be given when it comes to this game. And we are in a fortunate set of circumstances. Right, So one thing you always need to watch out with these bootleg games is that dropped inputs are quite possibly the worst thing ever. Basically, when you push a button, you need to be certain that you're not performing any action which could interrupt it, like running or falling off a ledge. When you're starting to learn games like these, it can be a right just pain, because you have no idea when the game is going to actually let you do what you want to do. But over time you kind of just become accustomed to like, oh, I need to wait for like a second here just to make sure mine doesn't drop. There's going to be a lot of times where we're just going to be maybe waiting for a second and it looks a bit weird, and that's just because I'm playing it kind of safe. So the real reason we're actually going to be using the accelerate Donkey Kong throughout is a lot down to the fact that Donkey Kong falls like a brick and he doesn't have much horizontal movement in the air. So the accelerate Donkey Kong allows us to kind of take like an angle down to the right, which, you know, just makes this go faster. This is level 3-2? I'm pretty sure this is like 3-2 at this point. So this is one of those levels where accelerate Donkey Kong of course level. Did the thing just not spawn? Okay. Well, welcome to bootlegs, folks. There's another game I play. It's 2003 Crash 2 Advance. It's made by the same developers. There is literally a strategy which just involves unloading like one of the enemies. Can I make that? Yes, I can. The hitboxes in this game are like kind of lenient, but also like they're bigger than they should be, which sometimes is a really good thing. Sometimes you kill enemies and jump on enemies you maybe weren't supposed to, or land on platform cycles you weren't meant to. But it can also be a pain in the ass the other way around, where an enemy will hit you when you were nowhere near it. Oh, crap. Okay, so there we go. First death of the run, to be honest. I thought we were going to be having a good few more deaths. But so this is going to be... so there's an invisible block there. Unlike the ones in Mario, you can actually just stand above them. So maybe popping through these. Be careful. Okay, cool. We got it under there. And oh, I should not have timed that jump. So, an unfortunate situation with this game is, well, when you're going from blue, like the big blue Donkey Kong, to red Donkey Kong. Oh, and I forgot about the power bar cycle. Yeah. Oh, 3 cast.
Okay, we're gonna get through this sometime.
World 3 cast, please. So, luckily this game is actually really lenient when it comes to lives. You just throw you a bunch, and when it comes to game overing, it just throws you back to the beginning of the level, which isn't really an issue because that's all dying does anyway. So, gaming over here is not something we need to be concerned about. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so when Donkey Kong takes damage, if he's going from the blue Donkey Kong with the Hadokens and such to red Donkey Kong, he just continues his momentum. However, if you go from red Donkey Kong to like the small blue Donkey Kong, he loses all all horizontal momentum and will proceed to drop like a brick. So if we ever get hit in the air with red Donkey Kong over a pit, it's basically a death sentence. Oh. If we held right a bit there, we probably wouldn't have taken damage, but oh well. So World 4. This is actually where the any% and Warpless categories kind of like converge again, because the any% category goes straight to here from level 1-2. So there's a lot that, you know, we could have skipped, but didn't because, hey, let's play Warpless, because that finally sounds like a fun idea.
This game is so beautiful, why would you want to skip it?
A lot of the stuff here is lag management and trying to make sure stuff just make some cycles, like running under that guy, looking up here to see if that guy's up there. He is, so he's throwing bombs. That guy has a chance not to spawn, and sometimes there's a guy that spawns up there. Luckily we've got a good set of cycles there. Next level we're just gonna completely cheat with. So similar to the fact that you could like run over the end of level 1, 2 in the Mario Bros, we can actually do that over the entirety of this level. So
What was that Donk City we just played?
yeah, that was New Donk City. Nintendo just completely ripped this game off. So we're gonna be taking, in fact we're gonna go for Blue Donkey Kong, because I feel like being a bit safer than this. So we're gonna be running up here. And this is this whole level. I just need to make sure I time the jumps correctly and they don't get dropped. I also need to remember to actually jump down to the end of the level. So yeah, I just need to keep track of where I am. Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. Cool. That was pretty good. So next up is going to be 4-3. 4-3 is a lot of fun if we have Blue Donkey Kong. Never mind. Oh yeah, no, sorry. We do want Red Donkey Kong here. Because being able to make some of these cycles exclusively with donkey hovering is pretty fantastic. You notice that we're just kind of hovering over everything ever. I'm good. Okay, cool. What time are we at anyway? How are we doing time-wise? That's pretty good. So, there's only been a few attempts of this done kind of ever. Because there's... Yeah, this game hasn't been...
I don't think good.
Yeah, this game hasn't been shown off in too many places. Like the largest showing of this game ever was during one of the GDQs. A user called The Bike showed this off. To quite an amazing reception. So this game actually does have a good few runners when it comes to the any percent category. However, for Warpless, very few people have ever tried this outside myself. To be honest, I don't blame people. This is pretty terrible. But hey ho. So we need to watch out for the fire bar down here because it's going to spawn and be a pain. But it's just the one, so now we can just run. Generally, we want to be playing as like the larger Donkey Kong wherever possible, because small Donkey Kong doesn't have the same run speed. So anytime we're playing a small Donkey Kong where we're just trying to run in a line, we are just losing time. So this is World 5. In any percent, this is the only world you actually play in its entirety because it's the final world. And this is also the one I'll be the most familiar with, considering, like, you know, I'm a bit more familiar with any percent. That bat is a pain. His hitbox is ridiculous, and you don't have much time to jump there from when he spawns in. Same with that guy. We actually just go to the left to be safe. Unfortunately, we're not playing as Red Donkey Kong here, but this is one of the instances where we're going to be picking up an invincibility power-up, which is going to allow us to just run through the rest of the level, assuming we don't drop any inputs. Okay, so there's that guy there, and that's the end. Nice. So next up is level 5-2. This is going to be our first instances of seeing this game's version of the Hammer Bros enemies. These are kind of ridiculous in the sense that their hammers they throw are huge. Much like a lot of hitbox in this game. So we're going to be collecting power up here, and hopefully we're going to be flying over this guy. So we're going to try bait the hammers out. Okay, he just decided not to throw the hammers. That's a thing he can do. We just kind of got lucky that they didn't decide to do anything. So we're running under here. Right, so for this guy, we're gonna be... So, I've learned with that guy, if you stand to the opposite side he is, when he's away to throw a hammer, he won't throw a hammer, like he'll act like he's gonna throw a hammer. So we purposely stay to the left of him there, whilst he's away to throw a hammer to the right so he doesn't throw one. I've lost many runs to dropping input down that little hole at the end. That's painful as well, because, like I said, there's no checkpoints in this game. If you die anywhere, you go back to the start of the level. So this is going to be one of the last levels where we're going to be abusing donkey hovering to get a lot further in this game than we should. If we had blue Donkey Kong, we could have just jumped up there and... Oh, never mind. Luckily there is another power-up down here. So we're gonna go for this. Oh, never mind. I forgot about that bat. So we're gonna wait for the cycle just to be safe. I don't think there's any point chancing this. Oh, never mind. Never mind, there's no platform there. Oh well. You're gonna see this level again. Alright. So this might actually give us a chance to show off that Donkey Offer because it's one of the more fun ones. And you can see just how bad the lag in this game can be, especially when there's like more than like 2 enemies on screen and they're trying to animate things. So we're gonna remember about this bat this time. Fantastic strats is remembering the game.
Remember, practice your speed game.
Almost, but that's the end of the level here, so we're good. We are golden. Okay, one more level to go, and that's going to be Fight for the final castle. Unfortunately, we're not going to this as Red Donkey Kong, meaning I can't just do a really nice damage abuse. However, let's see if we can get this without it. So I'm going to concentrate for this bit. So time's going to come up when we actually like land on the switch at the end of this level. Perfect.
Guy says, I'm intrigued, the music is tied to the frame rate of this game. You can even hear the lag.
Yep, and here we come. Time!
1840.
Yep, that's I think that's a PB. I think my PB was like 922.
Donkey Kong came through all kinds of difficulties. Conquered Lombardora and
Lombardado
and saved Sodoma finally. So the world resumed livingness from then on.
Look at him, he's like, I'm gonna get away.
The end.
Is this the prequel to the original Donkey Kong?
Yes. This is his adventure over time and space. So that is Donkey Kong 5 in its entirety. There's literally nothing else to show in that game apart from maybe some bits of the level you didn't see because we hovered over. But yeah, that is the entirety of Donkey Kong 5. I hope you enjoyed that.
I wouldn't want to close the door.
We have a setup session now, but don't go anywhere. We've got CDRomatron again running. It's
Densha D.
Densha